Hey guys, welcome back to Set Streets and Eats. I'm Chris Bauer. I am at a very famous movie location. Maybe the house behind me might give it away, but more than likely, it's the baseball field that's going to give it away. That's right, I'm at the Field of Dreams in Dyersville, Iowa. This, of course, is based on a 1989 movie starring Kevin Costner and James Earl Jones. It is an absolute classic, one of my favorite sports movies, and really in general movies of all time. It was also Burt Lancaster's last film. He was in his 80s when he filmed this. I am in a wind monsoon right now. Sorry about the wind. It is pretty brutal. As you can see, my clothes are whipping back and forth. The trees are going. It's absolutely gorgeous, as you can see, but very windy for audio. I apologize. Field of Dreams is one of my favorite movies, so I hope you enjoy my trip down nostalgia lane as I visit one of the most famous movie locations of all time. Let's travel.
I'm Chris Bauer, and I am an art slinger. I travel around the U.S. selling artwork at comic and anime conventions, and while I'm there, I like to check out cool sites, eat great food, and see all the places my favorite movies and TV shows are made. Welcome to Sets, Streets, and Eats.
Here's home plate. This is where all the guys would warm up before the game after they came out of the corn, which of course is not here because it is May. It's just been planted. Prime time to come visit this would be August, September maybe, to get the tall corn. But the field's still the same, the house is still the same. The original owners, the Lansings that owned the property when the movie was filmed here, have long since sold it. So this was sold within the last 10-15 years. I'm not exactly sure who owns it now, but they have it open all year round. You can come and take tours of the house, which I missed the last one, unfortunately, for the day. I got here just a little late. But they still have the original bleachers, by the way. This is the ones that were brand new wood, and then they would sit up here, and they built them for the movie and then kept them around. So this is actually carved by Kevin Costner up here between takes. Ray was his character and Annie was his wife in the movie, and he carved that between takes, and it still sits here today. Sorry, I'm trying to talk into my microphone because if I just leave it on my shirt, it's going to be obliterated with wind. It is really strong out here. So the movie came out in 1989. I remember seeing it within the year or two of its release. I was at an all-time high in love with baseball. I was a baseball card collector. I loved the Detroit Tigers, the Chicago Cubs, and it was just a really important time in my life for baseball. So this movie has always held a really important spot in my heart. If you're not familiar with the movie, which you should be, the plot of it is Kevin Costner's right out here in the field. Here's a voice. He's working on his corn. And here's a voice that tells him, if you build it, he will come. And leads him to believe that he has to build a baseball field to get Shoeless Joe Jackson to come back. Shoeless Joe Jackson, of course, was made famous in the 1919 World Series of the Black Sox, the scandal that happened after the 1919 World Series when the White Sox players, turns out they were throwing the series. It's a really good movie called 8 Men Out that talks about that. Super good movie. But Shoeless Joe, out of all 8 that were banned from baseball, he was the one that no one could prove that he actually did throw the game or throw any of the games. Sorry, I moved to the trees in the hopes that the wind won't be as bad. Anyway, well, like I said, you can come out, still tour the site, the field, all that. Right over here, you'll see it off in the distance. They're got the sprinklers going on right now. That is a Major League ball field now. Some of you may remember last August, they had the Field of Dreams game between the New York Yankees and the Chicago White Sox. They played at that field over there. The corn was in between them. The players came out of the corn. It was amazing. It was an awesome game. They're doing it again this August between the Chicago Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. Reason for those teams, by the way, at least two of the teams. Last year's game was because the White Sox were at the center of the plot of the movie. It's about the Chicago White Sox and the Black Sox scandal. So the White Sox played the Yankees last year. This year's connection is the Cubs will be taking on the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds was the team that the White Sox were in the 1919 World Series with, which is why the White Sox players got banned from baseball. So those are the two connections to the games for last year and this year. So that, I believe, is in August as well. It'll be a good game. So there's a little snack stand. There's also a very big gift shop here. Like I said, you can do house tours, tour the field, buy a souvenir. It's a really great place to stop, right in the middle of Iowa. And as you can see, positively gorgeous. You can hear that wind going. Look at that. The trees are just moving. Anyway, this brings back so much nostalgia. My love for the movie, my love for baseball. I think as humans, we have that thing where there's certain, I guess they're triggers, certain things from childhood that you can always go to when times are tough as an adult. Baseball card collecting, playing my Vectrex video game system, seeing the rocket fire explosion at Showbiz Pizza, things like that, things I can think of that make me smile. And I think everybody has those. They're different for everyone. They're just those moments in childhood where if things are bad when you're an adult, you can always think of those and smile, and it calms you. This place just reminds me of those memories, the nostalgia of it. So as you can see, all the sprinklers are going at the Major League Park next door. Come August, they'll have all those bleachers set up for spectators. Right now, it's just an open field. Well, it's got a fence around it, but pretty stripped down version of what it's going to be in August. I think it's awesome that they're doing that now. I hope they do that every year from now on. It's such a shot in the arm for baseball.
You're interrupting the game, Mark.
One of my favorite scenes from the movie, Timothy Busfield's character pulls into the parking area on the other side of those bleachers over there, and all the Black Sox are playing the game here, and he just walks right across because he can't see them. And they get mad and go after him, but he's just walking through a ghost playground, basically, going to the bleachers behind me. It's a funny scene. So interesting enough, James Earl Jones' character, Terrence Mann, wow, that wind. His character was actually in the book Shoeless Show, because this movie is based on a book. His character was actually J.D. Salinger. Salinger being the nut job that eccentric man that he is, I guess. Starting to sue them, so they had to change it. So they changed it to Terrence Mann, and all was well. But it's such a great movie. And the whole movie's about connection with family, basically, because it's really about Kevin Costner connecting or reconnecting with his dad. And it's so awesome. They, of course, end it with him and his dad playing catch, which I think most, at least American human boys can relate to. At least many. At least the fortunate ones, I should say. But the end scene, so the end scene with Costner and his dad playing catch right over there, they did as an aerial shot. It's at night. So the town of Dyersville is right over my shoulder over here, a couple miles away. So they blackened the town out. In other words, they had all the power shut off, and they had all the townspeople come out with their cars. That ties into the plot, but to make this long line of cars with their headlights on, showing that people were going to come and pay to see the game, which is a really cool plot point in the movie. But they actually did that practically. They really turned the lights off to the town, got everyone in the town, like 2,500 cars, to come sit along the side of the roads leading to town out to here, and turn their headlights from low to high beams periodically, so it would appear that the cars were moving. And that's the final shot of the film, and it was done practically. A shot that you could easily do digitally, but they did it practically, which I feel like shows you how much this town really got into having a major Hollywood movie filmed here with major stars in it. I just think it's a really cool, it's really cool that they did that practical. So a little tidbit, after 4:30 in the afternoon, because they close at 6, the grounds, before 4:30 you can get inside the picket fence and take pictures on the porch of the house. After 4:30 you cannot, so won't get to access the house on this trip. But hopefully I can get here earlier next time and actually do the house tour. It's about a 30-minute tour. Kind of goes to the house. They actually filmed a lot of it in the house as well, in addition to some interiors that they did inside town, not too far from here. They set up some interiors inside of a warehouse or something like that. But yeah, this is all sits right here, and it's fun to come out and enjoy a nice summer's day next to the Field of Dreams. Bring a picnic lunch. They got picnic tables, or you can buy a lunch here. It all looks pretty much the same, which is pretty neat. Yeah, I mean, basically right after filming it, got made into a movie location to visit, so they've really changed next to nothing. They've added a few of the red barns. The original red barn has, it's in the movie. I don't remember if that's the exact one, but they've added a couple over time, I'm sure, for offices and things to run the facility, but it's pretty neat. So they already have a plaque up commemorating the Major League ball game from last summer and the one coming up this summer. It's the first one in Iowa State history that was played within its state lines. $2 for a keychain. Well, this place definitely survives on donations and their goods. All the caps. Oh, that's pretty neat. So that signifies the Archie Graham going from young baseball player when he walks off the field at the end to save Karen's life into the old doctor. That's pretty cool.
What do we got here?
I do like these too. Major League, another great baseball movie right there. So I got a couple of purchases. So I got a Field of Dreams baseball and a fresh cut grass candle, which I haven't seen one of those since Yankee Candle used to have one years ago, but they quit making it. But if you're a candle maker out there, fresh cut grass, I will buy that anytime I see it. Definitely recommend it. Even if it's for a quick visit, you can do the whole thing in an hour, or a little bit more than an hour, even with the house tour. But just a gorgeous piece of property that was in a wonderful movie way back when. And another cool thing to see in the heart of America. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye now.